So last night, Ohioans voted for Issue 1, which enshrines the right to abortion into the state constitution. This is a major defeat for pro-life advocates, and what makes it worse is it's one of a string of defeats with state ballot initiatives. It's been like California, Vermont, Kansas, a couple other places where they've had a chance to vote either to increase access to abortion or to resist restrictions on abortion, and they've all gone the way that we don't want them to. Abortion advocates are really excited about the momentum that they seem to have, and a lot of pro-lifers are really frustrated and demoralized. And I get that. I mean, it sucks to lose, but I have a couple of thoughts. First of all, don't let recency bias mislead you. We have a tendency to add importance to whatever has happened most recently and not think about it in a greater context, not just about this, just about lots of things. But the abortion debate is a long-term and complicated fight. It's very difficult to predict what countless efforts, small and large, can produce over time. For 50 years, we struggled under the Roe v. Wade paradigm. There were plenty of people who were passionately pro-life and dedicated years to activism and died while Roe v. Wade was still the law of the land. I never thought that I would see Roe v. Wade overturned in my lifetime, and then seemingly very suddenly, Roe was gone. Dobbs overturned Roe, and for anyone who was paying attention at all, they knew that that was not the end of the fight. That was the beginning of the fight. So it took 50 years to spit out the poison that was Roe v. Wade. It would be wonderful and incredibly wishful thinking to think that after that, our path to victory would be short and sweet. And no doubt the state losses hurt, and they're important, but keep in mind, too, that we are still worlds ahead of where we would be if we were still suffocating under Roe v. Wade. There's been like a dozen states that have passed conception bans on elective abortion. Others have passed gestational limits, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks. Others are considering limits, and the outcomes are uncertain. There will be more state fights next year. We'll see what happens. But we wouldn't have even had the opportunity to have all of these fights if we hadn't gotten rid of Roe. There are plenty of fights ahead. The abortion debate in the United States is long-standing and it's fierce. Abortion advocates are not going anywhere, but then again, neither are we. Meanwhile, remember that no matter where you are, no matter what's going on with you, you could be busy, you could be broke, you could be introverted, you could be frustrated, there's always something you can do for pro-life work. We have a whole list of ideas that we've kept here, but if you do nothing else, make sure at minimum that you commit to letting people in your life know that you are against abortion. You don't have to have a big debate, you don't have to have encyclopedic knowledge, just memorize the sentence, "Hey, I don't really want to argue about this, but for the record, I do not agree." Standing up, speaking up like that, even in that what seemingly small way, that is a form of activism, and it matters, and anybody can do that. Losing Ohio sucks, and there will probably be other defeats we'll have in the next year, the next couple of years. I fully expect to be having these fights for decades, but I just want to be super clear. If we were going to lose every single legislative fight we have between now until I die, I would still not stop fighting abortion. Of course, I want us to win. I also want us to have hundreds of millions of dollars and expansive platforms and legions of voices making our case for us. I want all of those things, yes, of course. But if I had no platform at all, if I had $0, if I didn't have any friends alongside this with me, if all I had was just my lone voice, then so be it. I would still use that lone voice to say, hey, abortion kills children. It's wrong. It should be illegal. Because my children were valuable before they were born, and so were yours, and so were you. And so was I. So when I say that I'm in the abortion fight for life, it's actually a dual meaning. Because I'm in the fight to protect and save prenatal lives. I'm also dedicated to the fight for the rest of my life. Yeah, yesterday was disappointing, and it doesn't dissuade me at all. We fight on.